Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, how are you today? Look, most of us here in America, I believe, speak English. Now, when I was in high school, I studied a little French, but I can't speak French. I studied it a little bit, and that was a long time ago, as you can probably tell. But I could read it quite well. Now, I could tell you a story about the three little pigs in English, and you'll know exactly what I say. I can speak to you in French, tell you a story about the three little pigs, the same identical story, and you would not know one thing that I was talking about. That's the way it is when you start talking about God. We know the world, we live in it. God, we don't know God. It's like French. And we got a book, they call it the Bible. And you know how contaminated it might be. But I'm sure there's an abundance of truth in it. However, the truth would be like a foreign language to whomever is dealing with it. And anything they come out, it's going to explain this, the continuation of this, the maintenance of this. Why? It's speaking a foreign language. You say, well, my preacher, my pastor, he's been called by God, he said, to minister to us, to teach us, so we will know. How will the people know except there be a preacher? And how can a preacher preach except he been sent, they say. Well, this is what you do, ladies and gentlemen. You take that and I'm not going to go through that. I don't have time for that. I'm just going to say to you that it is all a great big waste. All a great big waste. Now let me tell you, they say the truth shall set you free. Let me share with you the truth as it applies to me. I grew up listening to God, the whole story about God, and it was a foreign language. And I tried to understand what was being said, but I witnessed those who said they had, possessed this new spirit. And it didn't even jive with the words at all. In fact, it, as far as I could see, dishonored God. But then there's something that happened in 1960, in the 60s. There was a man by the name of Dr. Martin Luther King. He talked about God and he talked about love. He talked about justice. And all of a sudden, the word made sense. Because it wasn't no longer just words. There were people on the street standing up for justice for those who had been denied justice. Oh, I saw a lot of God in there. That touched me. And as I stand before you here today, ladies and gentlemen, that's about as close as I know what God means from an outside experience. From an outside experience, that's about as much as I know about what God means. Everything else has just been taught. Nevertheless, I am convinced that there is a God, a power that is capable of not being seen, an invisible power, a spirit perhaps, that is responsible for all existence, including we the people. I know that for a fact because there were times when I was supposed to die. I was in danger. And like the fleet of it was gone several times. Now, I always try to attribute that to God, but if there were no God, then it would be me and what God has made me to be, which sounds really nice to me, for it is equaled out to each of us to be free in God. I can hear God because I want to. When I say I want to see God, the evidence of it is that you exist. And your pain is my pain. Your suffering is my suffering. And I want to do something about it because I see that it does not have to exist, and I know why it's existing. And I know when it comes down to explaining that to you, it's too is a foreign language. You just accept it. You know it doesn't work for you, but you accept it like $15 an hour while someone else is making thousands of dollars an hour. And you have let them convince you that that's your worth. Woo! See, this is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. I have learned. You can put that book aside. It's nothing but storytelling. Storytelling. There's truth in every story. There's bull in every story. But if you want to deal with God, you got to deal with love. There's no other way to deal with God except love. And what is love? Love is caring about yourself to the exist that you want to exist in its finest order. And when I say you, I'm talking about 8 billion of you want to exist in this finest order. And you were made to exist in this finest order. But in order to do that, there are things that you have to do. You have to realize that you didn't create yourself, that you are a representation of a power that you can't see, that you reveal and expose to everybody else that you do see. Because what you do is the God that they see in you, 8 billion of you. And what you've been designed to do is to participate in the creative process of all of those things that would give you peace and prosperity and freedom and joy and the fulfillment of your dreams and an opportunity to be who and what you are. That would make sure that you would suffer for nothing, that is for survival purposes like food, clothing, shelter, education, and healthcare, guaranteeing that your needs, your wants, and your desires will always be met. You can't beat that. Why? Because each of you in your participation creates enough of all the things that falls in that category in such an abundance that neither of you will ever be without it. Why? That's love, my friends. Money can't work that out. See, money is designed to do the opposite of that. See, in order to love, you have to look out there and see 8 billion people and love them like they were you. And all you got to do is be you, and they love you. Because the more you, the more love they got. See what I'm saying? But with that money, you don't have to love anybody, just get the money. It'll make you lie, it'll make you cheat, it'll make you steal, it'll make you kill, it'll make you terrorize, it'll make you go into war, it'll make you be a racist, it'll make you be a hater. Man, it'll make you kill yourself. Now, I've shared with you the truth. Now, I know, as a friend told me tonight, Eddie, you know you can only change one person. And it's absolutely right. And that one person is changed. It's me. I've changed me. I'm sharing this information with you so that I feel good. I have glorified God in words. But if you check my records, you'll see that I walked this talk. And I'm still walking it. Why? Because until you can say hallelujah, thank God you are alive, then my work is not done. And as long as I'm here, I got duties and responsibilities. So I want to thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for stopping on this post. It is Eddie Marcus saying goodbye for now.